Megumi Stohs Lewis, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So you are a violinist in the Sheffield Chamber Players. Can you tell me a little bit about your background and what brought you to the Sheffield Chamber Players?
Sure. Well, I started playing violin when I was 3, and my grandma from Japan brought me a violin that fit in her suitcase for Christmas, and then I just started playing from then on. Eventually, I came to Boston for grad school and went to music conservatory here, and then met the other members of Sheffield Chamber Players here. But a fun fact is that Sasha, the other violinist in the group, and I are both from Portland, Oregon, and we played in the same youth orchestra there back in the day.
Oh wow, what a coincidence, right? Oh my gosh, life finds a way. But, well, I mean, the long history of playing, it's probably in your veins at this point, right? So can you tell me about the upcoming performance through Pao Arts Center, Common Ground? Can you tell me about the premise of it and what you're most excited about?
Yes, we are really excited about this program. I think the title Common Ground can mean a lot of things, but one of them is the idea that music is a shared space. You know, as performers, it's a very intimate kind of art form that we really have to create the music together. And it's also very reciprocal with the audience, and we all share music in the moment before it disappears. And we kind of share those emotions. And it also is inspired by one of the composers. We're playing Rina Esmail. She is very passionate about bringing people together through music. And she blends Indian classical music with Western classical music and finds ways for the two cultures to speak to each other through her pieces, but also ways for performers from different cultures to come together and create music together.
Yeah, so I know that the performance is sort of like building off of each other's playing and going back and forth and sort of feeding off of each other's emotions. That's very powerful, and I know May is Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. This performance is about uplifting AAPI stories. Can you talk a little bit about that connection between Common Ground and how it can sort of start those conversations?
Yes. Well, each of these composers, the 4 of them, Ravi, Esmail, Rustam, and Liang, they're all living composers who are just writing incredible music. And it's, even though, you know, they draw inspiration from their ancestral heritage in a lot of cases, from, you know, things they remember from childhood and, you know, things that they've experienced as adults. But they really like write in a way that it's different from what I had experienced growing up playing Western classical music. When I first heard Lei Liang's Go Be Gloria, it just gave me chills. I had never heard anything like it, and that was just a few years ago. And I was like, what is this music? I need to find out more. I need to play this. And in that piece, Lei is drawing on Mongolian long songs. And when he first heard a family friend sing long songs, it gave him chills, he said, because he grew up in Beijing during the Cultural Revolution, and he was used to hearing kind of propaganda music that is supposed to be happy all the time. And then he heard the longing in these Mongolian songs and was just drawn to it, and just it stayed with him his whole life. And then he put it into this string quartet that we'll be playing. So I think, you know, for musicians from many cultural backgrounds, hearing music written in a classical art kind of music world, but something that comes perhaps from a culture you're personally connected to can be really powerful. And I don't think we realize that enough, you know, and young musicians training now, you know, it can really inspire them and give them purpose when they realize they can draw inspiration from many places.
Absolutely, and you never know where you're going to draw that inspiration from, right?
Yeah.
You could not even know the background of the person you're hearing the music composed of, but you relate to it in this really intense way.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so what do you hope audience members will take away from the performances in Common Ground?
Well, we're excited to play at the Pao Arts Center because it's such a cool place, and they have this kind of, ongoing mission of like hands-on art, and bringing the community together around art. And we also, each composer, they can't be there in person, but they recorded a special video message for the Pao Arts Center audience. So we hope that it will just be a really intimate and personal experience, that they'll get to hear this great music, but also they will realize like this music is for them, to enjoy. And we also love talking with the audience during and after the concert. So we hope we'll get to just have those personal connections.
Absolutely. And could you maybe just quickly highlight what your favorite piece is in the performance?
I know, my favorite piece. It's too hard because they're all so different. So I love all of them equally, I have to say, but I'll just say that the Go Be Gloria by Lei Liang was the first one that really drew me in and made me feel like I have to play this. This is, music that I've never experienced before, but that I really connect with personally.
Awesome. Can you tell our viewers where they can learn more about the concert and where they can learn more about Sheffield? SheffieldChamberPlayers.org is where you can find out more. And the concert on May 3rd at the Pao Arts Center is no cost. Well, thank you so much for joining us and telling us all about this very exciting performance, and good luck and break a leg.
Thanks, Natalie.
Great. Thank you so much.